And when I finally spot her blonde hair coming towards me, my stomach does a cartwheel. I remind myself that I don't want a relationship, that Maddie is and should always be my priority, and that a distraction isn't welcome right now. But then she smiles at me. That sweet smile, bright enough to blind the sun, and I forget my own resolve. Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a week-long reading vlog. I actually finished reading a book yesterday and I thought, why not doing how much I realistically read in a week vlog? So let's get into it. I'm such a mood reader and I found this book thanks to a quote out of context on BookTok. So this is the first book I'll be reading this week. It's called The Brightest of Sunshine by Lisina, Coney, and it follows the story of Grace Allen, who wants to heal after a traumatic past. In her journey, she becomes friends with Samuel Callaghan, a tattoo artist who is in care of his sister. As their friendship deepens, Grace wonders if Cal might be the person she's been seeking. However, Cal's focus is on his sister and business, until Grace's presence begins to challenge his priorities and makes him rethink things. Let's see. And when I finally spot her blonde hair coming towards me, my stomach does a cartwheel. I remind myself that I don't want a relationship, that Maddie is and should always be my priority, and that a distraction isn't welcome right now. But then she smiles at me. That sweet smile, bright enough to blind the sun, and I forget my own resolve. So last night I finished reading The Brightest Light of Sunshine by Lisina, Coney, and it was incredibly heartwarming. This book is a wonderful strangers to friends to lovers story, which was beautifully done. It was so genuine and the slow burn was so good. Like, if you're trying to get out of a reading slump, this is your book. It's very character focused, so it allows you to deeply know them. And the way they handle their feelings and issues maturely is noteworthy. Also, Grace's boldness despite her past was admirable. Overall, this book is a delightful romantic read that's perfect for warming your heart. This was my first time reading a book by this author and I'm really looking forward to more from her, and I can't wait to read book 2 on the series that comes out on January next year, which is about Cal's little sister Maddie. I'm very excited to read her story and to see how her character develops. On to my next read. This is the next book I'm reading, which is Minx by the one and only Sophie Lark. I loved every book I've read from her so far, and her writing is insane, so I obviously have high hopes for this one as well. All the books I've already read from her were straight up 5 stars. I still have lots of books from her pending to read, like the Brutal Better series, so I obviously need to catch up. I'm gonna read the blurb of Minx, okay. Rames Howell is a self-made man. He's proven he can get what he wants, and from the moment Blake Abbott catches his eye, she becomes his top priority. Blake wonders what took Ramses so long. She knew who he was years before. They strike a deal to play a very specific game. Ramses created the game for Blake. Blake adds rules that Ramses has no intention of following. As fantasy invades reality, the arrangement consumes them both. Blake and Ramses cross lines they swore they never would, and each begins to question what they thought they always wanted. This sounds promising, and I'm very excited to read it. Excuse me. This is so not what I was expecting at all. I'm still processing everything. I love how Sophie Lark is always writing different genres. Like, you never know what she will write next. She continues to deliver fresh and unique stories, and this was no different. Do not ask me what the plot is, because I don't know. But like, the spices in this, my god. This book explores a steamy, low-drama romance between an upscale escort and her client. It wasn't my favorite from this author, but I'll still give it a good rating because it was highly enjoyable and a distinctive read. Also, we need to talk about how mind-blowing the illustrations are in every single Sophie Lark book. Like, they are insane. I'm obsessed. I ended up having a very busy week, so I haven't had much time to read, and I read a lot slower than I normally do. As I read both books on my Kindle, I didn't count how much I read each day in pages but in chapters. So to sum up, on Monday I started reading The Brightest of Sunshine by Lisina, Coney, and that day I read 14 chapters, which was the 35% of the book. On Tuesday I read 6 chapters, up until the 47%. On Wednesday, I read 9 chapters down to the 67%, and on Thursday, I read 13 chapters and finished the book. I find it so hard reading a book 5 whole stars. It takes a lot for me to do so. I'm giving this book 4.5 stars. I love this book, but it felt like something was missing. I don't know. The next day, on Friday, I started Minx by Sophie Lark, and I ended up reading just 6 chapters that day, up to the 31% of the book. On Saturday, I read 7 chapters up until the 54%, and on Sunday, I read 11 chapters and finished it. As you can see, this was a quick read, and as I said earlier, it was a very quickie and entertaining book, so I'm rating it 4 stars. These both ratings will probably become higher once I stop thinking about them. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe and to follow me on all my socials. We'll see each other on the next video.